Hey everybody, it's Dalton. I want to talk to you about another way to rig a soft stick bait. And then I'm going to give you a little update on a couple of things. But I think probably the most versatile bait that anyone could have in bass fishing is a 5-inch soft stick bait. Now, you've got the Senkos, which are made by Yamamoto. You have Yum Dingers. There's a lot of companies that make these things. And now I'm making my own because I want to make my own colors. And I'll do a separate video on the color selections that I'm doing in my baits and why I'm doing it. But at any rate, this is a very versatile bait. Now, typically, when I Texas rig this bait, and that's what I want to talk about today is a Texas rig. When I Texas rig this bait, I use an extra wide gap hook. This is a Gamakatsu extra wide gap hook. I use a 3 or a 4/0. Sometimes I'll throw it weightless. Sometimes I'll put like an 1/8 ounce or a 3/16 ounce or even a 1/4 ounce bullet weight on there. But typically, I throw it a lot on an EWG. The other thing that I threw it on, or I can throw it on, and my wife did, she wound up catching her biggest bass somewhere in the 6-pound range. This is an owner beast hook. It's a screw lock hook. When we were out at Lake Santa Margarita here in California, I set her up with a 5-inch stick bait, no weight, and there was a little bit of wind current, so it was kind of taking us along, and I'm just beating the bank lines with, I don't remember what. She cast out the back of the boat, let it sink down, and just let it slowly drag and swim along the bottom, and she wound up catching a really big bass. The technique I'm going to show you right now, I don't know if you guys have used this before or not, but this particular hook right here is made by owner. Now I have the link in the bottom so that you can go and look at it yourself. This is a 3/0, it's a screw lock. But what's really cool about this is it has a 1/32 ounce weight. And so what I do with this thing, and let me put my glasses on so I can see, so I can see what I'm doing here, is I go ahead and set this thing up, and I'm going to kind of give you some applications that I like to use it. I have fumbly hands today. At any rate, go ahead and screw the bait on there. And it's going to look like that. Then I'm going to measure it and go ahead and rig it up. Just drive it through the plastic, take the tip of that hook and just cover it so you can take it through the weeds. Winds up looking just like that. Now the reason I like this technique is a couple. One, when this bait falls, it literally rocks because of that bottom weight. It will literally rock back and forth. And I use a pretty soft stick bait, or I make pretty soft stick baits. So it just gives that bait a little bit more action with that rocking. The other thing is you can bring this through most any kind of cover. If you're fishing grass, rocks, wood, around docks, any of that kind of stuff, this bait's going to work really good. But also if you're fishing vertical walls, if you're fishing, say, a steep, rocky wall, you can let this thing parallel your boat, right along that rock wall, and let this thing shimmy itself down and rock, and you might pick up a few bites that way. Now, one of the ways that I'm going to use this as far as this year, I know it's only January, but I'm already starting to think about pre-spawn. I'm already starting to think about the spawn. Now, as you guys know, I make my own baits. And this particular color right here, I just have a feeling is going to work really well with largemouth bass. This is a purple blue flake. Now, if you think about a bluegill, bluegills have several colors in them. They have some blue, they have some purple, they have some brownish or dark, or what I call dirty yellow. There's several colors in a bluegill, and in some states they call them brim. Now, during the spawn, the #1 enemy for bass is bluegill. They come in and they tear up their beds, they eat their eggs, they don't want anything to do with them. So they'll kill them. And this right here is going to be a bluegill imitating bait. Now, what I like about it, when using this particular hook, is I can just bring that thing through the bed real slow. I can drag it, I can swim it, I can throw it and let it drop on the bed. There's a number of ways that I can do this. But if you've never tried this, again, the link is below to this hook. It's just another tool in the toolbox as far as throwing a soft plastic bait. As far as Lake Nacimiento, again, you guys know I'm injured. I haven't been out there in a while. But the lakes, come up quite a bit. It's went from 9 to about 30%. So it's went up well over 30 feet. I know the lake is cold and muddy, so it makes the fishing really difficult, but it's good to see the lake coming back up. As far as my injury, for those of you who don't know, last month I broke my ankle, and I am in a boot now, but it's not a walking boot. I go back to the doctor at the end of this month, and he said as long as things are healing well, he's going to put me in a walking boot for about 2 weeks, and then after that I can get back into tennis shoes. So like I said in my last video, it looks like I'm going to be able to get back into, back fishing in February. And a little disappointed. I'm going to miss most of the winter. I do like fishing in the winter, but it is what it is. It's just the way things went. So hopefully you guys will pick you up a pack of these. They come in packs of 3. Like I say, I use a 3/0, but they come in a 4 and a 5/0 as well. And give it a try. It might work. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you next time.